Our next topic in Math 7 is to discuss arithmetic and geometric sequences. Arithmetic sequences occur when we add the same number in order to get the next term in the sequence. The number we add is called the common difference. Geometric sequences occur when we multiply by the same number in order to get the next term. The number we multiply by is called the common ratio. All right, so examples, we're going to determine if the sequence is arithmetic or geometric, and then we're going to state the common difference or common ratio, and we're also going to give the next three terms. So in example 1, I need to figure out how do I get from 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and it has to be the same way every time. Well, I would have to add 2. So every time in my sequence I'm adding 2. So that means since I am adding, this is going to be an arithmetic sequence. My common difference, or D, is going to be 2. And then my next three terms to continue the pattern. So 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14. All right, example number 2. How do I get from 2 to 6, 6 to 18, 18 to 54? So I'm looking at how do I get the next term in the sequence. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, so times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 times 3 is 54. So I am multiplying here. Since I am multiplying, that means this is a geometric sequence with a common ratio of 3. So to continue the pattern, I would do 54 times 3, which is 162. 162 times 3 is 486. And 486 times 3 is 1,458. Right, example 3. How would I get from negative 12 to 54, 54 to negative 243? This is a little bit trickier because you notice your signs are changing from negative to positive and positive back to negative. I notice that this is growing pretty quickly, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to use multiplication. If you have something, a pattern that grows relatively quickly or decreases relatively quickly, probably going to be multiplication. All right, so negative 12 times what gives me 54? That's not something I would know off the top of my head, so I can work backwards. 54 divided by negative 12. Let's see. 54 divided by 12 is, if I could type it in my calculator correctly, negative 4.5. All right, so I'm thinking that if I take negative 12 and I multiply it by negative 4.5, my goodness, times 4.5, make that negative, I should get 54. And then 54 times negative 4.5 gives me negative 243. So since I am multiplying both of these, that makes this a geometric sequence with a common ratio of negative 4.5. And then I can continue the pattern. So times 4.5 negative. This one is going to be 1,093.5 times 4.5 negative gives me, bigger number, negative 49,020.75. And then I can multiply by 4.5, and I will get 22,000. Oops, this one is 4,920. And this one is going to give me 22,143.375. So notice these patterns when you're multiplying do grow rather quickly. All right, last example, example 4. How do I get from 35 to 25, 25 down to 15? Well, I would have to subtract 10. Or we can think about that using keep change opposite as adding a negative 10. So since I'm adding, this is going to be an arithmetic sequence with a common difference of negative 10. So if I take 15 minus 10, I get 5. 5 minus 10 is a negative 5, and negative 5 minus 10 gives me a negative 15.